Hi, my name is Riley Hodges, and today I will be talking about the culture of Sweden, my native homeland. It's where my family's. That's where my family is originally from. Is Sweden. My family came there came from there in 1905 on a boat that came in through Chicago. They settled in Chicago, and then they came to St. Louis, and now here I am. All right. We're going to go over the founding of Sweden and the early culture, which took place in 2000 BC to 1000 AD. Uh, During the early days, the Swedes were not very nomadic. Not until the Vikings landed there. The early settlers were called the Sami, close to 2000 BC. They didn't move around very much. Not until the Vikings came there. Uh, After the Vikings came there, a group of early Christians that started a monarchy there called. Well, they formed it around King Magnus Landolus, who was a decent ruler, not the greatest, but decent. That kingdom lasted for about, I don't know, 500 years maybe, 550 years until it collapsed. Uh, and they formed a new democracy. Many people think that France was the first people to form democracy. They are wrong. It's Sweden. It's just less well known because it's not a big name like France. Uh, but the French were the first to actually like publicize it. Sweden was the first to actually make it, like found it. The early migration to Sweden. Uh, the early migration consisted of like bricklayers from Germany that came up through the bottom of Germany and settled near the bottom of Germany, kind of near. Uh, I don't even know. I mean, they settled near the bottom of Sweden, uh, kind of like right on the border of Germany, Sweden. They didn't go into the heart of Sweden, but they settled in Sweden. And the one of the earliest groups of people that came there were Jewish families that arrived from Rome and the Mediterranean to settle in Sweden. Because, as we know, Jewish families came from the Mediterranean, the Middle East area, and that's how they got the white complexion. That's how a lot of Jews have a white complexion, is because they came from uh, Anglo-Saxon areas and they settled there. Jewish families were primarily of a brown descent until they moved to Sweden, and then they gained a whiter complexion. And before, like any of them were there, small Anglo-Saxon tribes from the North Pole migrated there before any of them, before any of the Jews, Germans came. Uh, Anglo-Saxons from the North Pole came. Yeah. Right. And now we're going to talk about the industry out of Sweden. Uh, Sweden's main export has been hydropower for the past 100 years, and it's really ramped up in the past 30 years with the EU's tighter restriction on power, given that they want to kind of stray away from uh, fossil fuels, and they don't want to burn as many fossil fuels. They want to stick to productive energy, as you might call it. It's a kind of a renewable energy source. Sweden has taken a step in the right direction when it comes to building a sustainable uh, electric grid. In the past about 50 years about 50 years ago, they built the first nuclear plant in Sweden, but their main outsource is hydropower, and along with a lot of uh, other Nordic countries like Norway, Finland, Switzerland. Not really Germany, but Germany has a few like nuclear plants, but not like zero uh, hydro plants. Sweden's basically just one big dam. Basically, uh, supplies the upper half of Europe with power. That and Norway supply the upper part of Europe with power. Right. And now we're going to talk about the culture of Sweden today. There are a lot of fun traditions in Sweden today. Swedes take part in a lot of music. They don't seem like musical people, but they are. Uh, the band ABBA and C418, the people who made the music for Minecraft, and ABBA, a popular band in the 1970s, which was they sang the song "Dancing Queen." I can't really think of many others right now, but that's one of their big hits, "Dancing Queen." And they also have a lot of hockey players and a lot of tennis players. Surprisingly, tennis players. I would have thought tennis players would have came from like Southern Europe, but apparently not. I'm not too surprised about skaters and hockey players, given that the Sweden area is up north, and it's pretty cold up there. But yeah, I'm surprised about the tennis players. Alright, and here are all my sources. Alright, and thank you for watching today.